India has struck back 12 days after the Pulwama attack. We are joined by Hindustan Times executive editor Shishir Gupta for more. So, what can you tell us about the strikes that were carried out at 3:30 a.m. this morning?
What we have right now from the government and from the intelligence is that our planes, most probably Mirage 2000s, the number is not known. They were used to carry a preemptive strike on a non-military target at Balakot in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which is in Pakistan, in Manshera district. And this preemptive strike was carried out early in the wee hours of the morning, and in which the entire Balakot camp, which was the biggest camp of Jaish-e-Mohammed, has been destroyed. Now, in this camp, it is estimated that about 200 to 300 people were there. My understanding is, and according to my intelligence sources, the camp has been obliterated.
Yeah, Pakistan on its part has obviously come out with statements from various people, including the police, a very highly placed police official in Balakot, saying that, you know, they've gone and visited the site and there were no bodies. It was just a densely populated hilly area. Is this a face-saving effort which is now being done from the side of Pakistan?
See, if you admit to the strike, then you have to admit that you will have to retaliate.
Right.
And if you have to retaliate, you will have to retaliate in a full spectrum retaliation, which is not possible at this particular point of time. And remember, the strike is on terrorist camps. The strike is not on a civilian target. The strike is not on an innocent. The strike is not on a military target. It's a non-military preemptive strike that has taken place.
How do you think the world community is going to view this? You know, the preemptive strike across because there is a lot of noise that Pakistan is going to create about India coming inside. Because remember, this is not POK. This is inside Pakistan. The Indian Air Force striking inside Pakistan. So obviously, Pakistan is going to go to the, a lot of international pressures they're going to try and swing the narrative in their favor. How do you think it's going to play out in the international community?
See, the fact of the matter is this, that India has the right to defend. And when they were expecting more attacks to come, like the Foreign Secretary said in the briefing today, they were expecting more Jaish-e-Mohammed strikes to come. They have a right to preempt these strikes rather than take casualties on their own.
Right.
Remember, the paradigm in India has changed after the Uri attacks. In Uri attacks, it was made it very clear that it's not about whether I'm going to strike or not strike. It's about I am going to strike, timing and place I will decide. That's the change. Now, obviously, Pakistan will try and play the victim card. Pakistan will play the card saying that, innocents have been killed. But the fact of the matter is Pakistan is not admitting to a strike. So what will it complain about?
Exactly. Every time something like this happens, and especially last time, as you saw after the surgical strikes too, the opposition has a tendency to create a lot of noise. And this time, of course, Rahul Gandhi was the first to tweet, I salute the Indian Air Force people. So do you think that this all-party meeting is an attempt to get everyone on board to say, okay, now we need to stand united at this hour? And how long will that opposition unity hold?
The all-party meeting is to inform the opposition party as to what the government has done.
Right.
Second thing is, it will come out very clearly with the facts on the ground. And I'm sure they would have evidence which will subsequently come out. Now, the point in this is that the public mood in India was such after the Pulwama attack that it was very difficult for the government to remain quiet. And particularly when the Prime Minister was very clear and very open that they had committed a mistake and they had to pay for the mistake.
Exactly. So, moving forward, of course, Pakistan is going to try and spin the narrative in its own favor, and which we just discussed how they're doing that already. But do you expect any retaliation from Pakistan?
Retaliation for no strike. They said there is no strike. So where is the retaliation?
No, but they did admit that the Indian Air Force aircrafts, they
retaliate
came inside.
Where? We don't have terrorist camps in India.
Right.
Where do you retaliate?
But they are talking about that we breached their airspace.
We breached their airspace, they can go to UN for that.
Right. So you think there is no... So this is all a narrative that they are building?
The chances of a retaliation are only possible when you admit to a strike. Right. When you admit to civilian casualties, when you admit to innocents being killed, when you admit to the fact that it is actually not the Indian government, but somebody else has done it. Once you have said that there is nothing has happened, then what is the admission all about? Then what is the retaliation?
Right.
You tell me, what is the retaliation for?
So going forward, you feel
that... You can't first say that, there was nothing and then you retaliate.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us. So we'll keep you posted with more updates and keep watching Hindustan Times.